Hello class, just trying to figure out a few things with Zoom meetings. I'm not the best at it, but I just wanted to take an opportunity tonight to go over some of the words and use the terminology builder a little bit to look at some pronunciations. So we might create some new words here while we're at it, but hopefully we'll learn some pronunciations you might not be familiar with. So let's take a look at some of these. Let's start with a prefix. Let's look at trans. Okay. And as you enter the prefix, the combining form and the suffix, the word changes. So trans, sclera, derma. Okay. So what that means, transscleroderma would be a hardening of the layers of the skin across a certain area. Okay. Let's look at dia. Actually, let's use diaphoro. Diaphoroderma. Ignore that part right there, but that would be profuse sweating of the skin. Okay. Okay. Let's go down here. Let's start with a combining form this time. Let's start with erythematose. Okay, this erythematoderma would be a reddening of the skin. The combining form erythro can also be used for that phrase. Erythro is the color red, and it's actually used quite often to describe red blood cells as erythrocytes. How about hydro? Okay, which means sweating. We can find another suffix here. Here's a funny one. Hydrotherapy. In this case, it's not getting in a hot tub and trying to move your joints. If we're looking at the actual definition, it would be therapy using sweat. Cutaneo, this is a common one we see in this chapter. Sorry, my dog is right here again, and she's licking my hand because she's not getting attention. So if we look at cutaneo, a cutaneocyte would be a skin cell. Bio, there's an interesting one. Biopsy. Okay, I'm sure we've all heard that term. Biopsy is taking a view of something that's alive or removing live tissue from a body in order to do a study to see if it's malignant or see if there's any disease process going on. Let's see if we can add some prefixes here. Okay, xeno. Xeno means strange. You could say xeno, albino, sight. Okay, that would be a strange looking white blood cell. Okay. Hyper. Hyper is another one we use a lot in medical terminology. Let's look at some of these other combining forms. Here we go. Hyper, pyloesis, which would be hyperpiliosis. So the pronunciation of some of these combining forms, the prefixes and suffixes, once they're put together, it changes how you pronounce the word. So oftentimes a long vowel becomes short. In this case, it would be hyperpiliosis, basically meaning a condition of excessive hair. Now, allo is a great one. A lot of times in orthopedics, orthopedic surgeons use allografts, okay, which is a graft of tissue that comes from another source. There's an autograft, which means that the tissue comes from the actual person that's being operated on. So most times when we look at white blood cells, the actual term we use, the combining form, is leuco. So alloleucosis. Again, the pronunciation changes once those are combined and we drop the vowel. Alloleucosis, which would be a condition that doesn't exist, and that's a made-up word. So moving on. An, the prefix an means without. We could say an lipocyte, which would be without fat cells. Without a fat cell. Another prefix that's used often is endo. And let's find a good combining form for that. Endo. Let's see. Endo. This is a hard one. Let's try endo. Dermo. There we go. Endodermectomy. Okay, when you see the suffix ectomy, it usually means a surgical procedure. It means surgical removal of something. So if we were to create this word, it would be the surgical remover of an underlayer of skin. So far, I hope you're learning a little bit about pronunciation from these words. Let's do one more so I don't take up your whole study time. But I just want you to get used to learning these words and being able to pronounce them. Let's look at a combining form that we don't use a lot. One of those is squamo. Okay, this word is squamoderma, which basically means scaly skin. Okay, so one little rule to remember is that when you take a combining form and you add a suffix, and if that vowel stays, that vowel sound is going to be long. But if you add a combining form and you drop that vowel right there, because there's another vowel, say an alga, that sound is going to be short. That vowel sound will change to short. So in this case, if we have squamoderma, right, and instead of derma, we put alga on there, which is kind of a made-up word, the pronunciation will be squamalgia. Okay, and alga is a suffix meaning pain, and that's another common suffix we'll see, because alga can be added to a lot of different things to describe pain in different areas of the body. Cephalgia means headache, rhinalgia, pain in the nose, patelalgia, pain in the kneecap, tibialgia, pain in the tibia bone. Okay, so there's a lot of different things you can use alga for. So hopefully this was helpful, and I hope you all have a good night. My dog Lucy says have a good night, and we will see you guys later.